Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? Are we having the most amazing experience ever? I hope you are. Today is a great day, is it not? It's Thursday, and sadly, yes, it's our last day for 18 days. I just did the math, and we'll be back in 18 days. We'll be back on the 29th. And in the meantime, Steve will be here to entertain and amuse you and educate you so you can have fun and be amazed. We leave tomorrow morning bright and early, and we're back on the 25th, but we don't have another Morning Motivator call till the Tuesday, so I won't really actually be here till then. But we're gone for 2 weeks, going to be in Victoria. The weather is looking amazing for our trip. I was looking at the forecast. I'll just do a check on it right now because I kept thinking, when we first booked our flight and what have you, the weather wasn't looking so good. It wasn't looking good here either, but as it moved forward, the weather started looking much better. And if I check the weather for Victoria, it should be absolutely beautiful there next week. Looking forward to it. Not sure what it's going to be for, let's see, what do we have here? We got some, goodness gracious. There we go. Now I just want to see where it's going to be for the next. There we go. Daily. All right. So, 21, 19. So the weather's changed again. It's got cooler and a little cloudy and sunny. But you know what? It's Victoria. We've been there before. The weather's always nice. We'll have to pack a mixture of clothing and what have you. It's going to be a fun trip. Looking forward to seeing Zadie. Haven't seen her since May, beginning of May. So I know she's going to have changed an awful lot. I've seen pictures of her. I've talked to her on Skype, but it's not the same. I'm looking forward to being away. I'm not looking forward to being away from the calls. I will miss you guys. I will miss the calls. 19 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's coming. 19 degrees Celsius is actually quite nice. We have been, I'm not sure where everyone is today, we have been going through Ask and It Is Given, Learning to Manifest Your Desires by Esther and Jerry Hicks. We've been playing games. And today we are on process number 4, virtual reality. This is probably one of my favorite games because this is something you can do anywhere, anytime, any place. And I think if we start reading, we might get through the whole chapter today, which is what I'd like to do. I did suggest to Steve if he wanted, he can continue playing games while I'm gone, because I think it's important that you guys play these games. It's the truth of the matter is the games work. So pick one you want to do. There's something area in your life you want to change. Pick a game and play it. Today we're doing virtual reality, which is a lot of fun. So I hope you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy this today. This is game number 4, page 167 if you're following along. You use this process when you're feeling good and you want to practice a vibration of allowing. When you find yourself remembering a pleasant experience and you want to extend the feeling longer and even move it to a better feeling place. When you have extra time and you wish to spend it in a pleasant way. Wouldn't that be nice when you find yourself with some extra time or you're stuck in traffic to do some virtual reality instead of getting bored? So they suggest that if you're somewhere between 1 and 8, just joy and boredom, you want to play this game. If you're feeling worse than that, you want to look at some other games that you could play. Remember, you live in a vibrational universe and all things are managed by the law of attraction. And you get what you think about, whether you want it or not, because whenever you achieve vibrational harmony with something, because you're giving it your attention, the vibrational essence of it will, in some way, begin to show up in your life experience. Did you get that? For some reason, I didn't have that one marked, but that's huge. You get what you think about, whether you want it or not, because whenever you achieve vibrational harmony with something, because you're giving your attention to it, the vibrational essence of it will in some way begin to show up. So if you're in vibrational harmony with something you think about, and that could be something that's not good, You could be thinking, you could be stressed out, you could be worried, you could be thinking about things that aren't right in your life and feeling the feeling of that. And the universe will bring you more of it. They'll bring you the essence of something similar. Do you guys understand that a little bit? That's why we practice feeling on purpose. So you could say, the universe responds to your vibrational offering, to your point of attraction, to the thoughts you think, and to the way you feel. Hey, Carl, great you made it today. The universe is not responding to what has been manifested in your experience, but instead to the vibration that you are now offering. The universe makes no distinction between your actually having $1 million and you're giving thought to having $1 million. Your point of attraction is about your thoughts, not about your manifestations. Lynn was asking me this morning, did I find my $1 million bill? And I said, oh, I sure did. Look at that. There we go, $1 million. $1 million. And guess where that $1 million is housed? And there's not just one, but there are two of them. And they are in my box, and it says that whatever is contained in this box is. So there's $2 million in there. Actually, there's $2,100,563.29 in there. The universe makes no distinction between your actually having $1 million and you're giving thought to having $1 million. You know the old saying, I feel like $1 million bucks? The universe responds to that. The universe is about, your point of attraction is about your thoughts, not about your manifestations. This virtual reality process is not one where you try to fix something that's broken. It's one where you deliberately activate a scene in your mind that causes you to offer a vibration matching the scene that you have activated. And as you practice visualizing pleasant scenes in your mind, these good feeling vibrations can then become your new set point. Most are presenting the majority of their vibrational offering in response to things, people, and conditions that they are observing. Right? Most of us, let's face it, most of what's happening in your life is because of things you're looking at. Things, people, situations. Would you agree? Most of what's going on in your life is because of things you're looking at right now. Looking at what you think really is real. And so the lives of most people continue to unfold very much as they have been, with no significant improvement from day to day. This is because there's not much thought being offered that is much different from what has already been experienced. However, the game of virtual reality will change that, because an application of this process on any subject of your choice will cause your vibration to move far beyond where you are currently standing. Doesn't that sound good? How would you guys like to move your vibration far beyond where it is right now? Since the universe responds to your vibration and not to what you are living right now, amazing things can now begin to flow into your experience, even though they have never done so before. The thing that we see that most commonly trips you up is that in the contrast, which is necessary and valuable to help you give birth to a rocket of desire, often there's an activation of many kinds of jumbled energy. Usually, in order for you to know that you want something, you have to pretty well have chewed on details or events that have helped you know what you do not want. In other words, when do you speak most clearly about wanting to be well? When do you talk about wanting to be well? I want to be well. Well, usually it's when you're less than well. When you're sick, you say you want to be well. When does your strongest desire for money really kick into high gear? Most likely when there's not enough money. When you are confused, that is when you want more clarity, right? When you're overwhelmed, isn't that when you want more serenity? And when you're bored, isn't that when you want more stimulation? Remember, the creative workshop process combines 3 steps. Ask. That's always easy. You do it all the time. Answer. Answer the asking. This isn't your work. The source energy does that. Remember, step 2. Step 3, allow. Be in the receiving mode of what you're asking for. It's important that you realize that steps 1 and 3 are different. When you are focused upon or praying for something you really want or need, often you're not a vibrational match to the thing you want. Instead, you're a match to the absence of it. How many of you can actually start to see that? That the reason that you haven't attracted the things that you really want in your life is because your vibration, your body vibration, your physical vibration, your mental vibration is really on the lack of it. It's a tough one, isn't it? You are continually asked, oh, wait a minute, when the bills all come at once, there's not enough money to pay them, and you feel frightened and fearful and say, I need more money. Or you try to use more positive words such as, I want more money. You're doing step 1. You're setting forth your desire. But you're not in step 3. So you're holding yourself apart from what you're asking for. You're continually asking. You cannot stop asking. Contrast is evoking the desire from you. Your real work is to find a way to be in the receiving mode. It is similar to wanting to receive a satellite or radio signal, right? Wouldn't it be nice if we just had a little dial? Oh, I'm off sync here, and my radio signal's getting blurry. I'm just going to turn the dial. I'm going to tune back in again. When in reality, isn't that exactly what we're talking about here? It's similar to wanting to receive a satellite or radio signal. To do so, you have to set your receiver on the same wavelength as the transmitter, or you're going to get static. You're not going to get a clear signal. Lynn, you would know a lot about that, right? In like manner, you recognize the alignment of your transmitted and received signals by feeling the alignment of your emotions. In other words, when you're out there in that ragged place, when you're feeling frazzled and frustrated or angry and hurt, you're out of alignment. We want you to relax and not be so hard on yourself when you find yourself in a place of negative emotion. Negative emotion is a good thing in that it's letting you know that some tweaking is required in order for you to be in harmony with who you are. How many of you actually recognize when you have a negative emotion, when there's a negative feeling running around in you, or a negative thought? How many of you are actually aware that it's there, it's a possibility? It is obvious, you know, it comes out in many ways. It comes out in headaches, backaches, you know, illness. You can recognize it, Lynn. That's awesome. I'm glad most of you can. If you are really out of sync, in other words, if you can really feel that you're not in a good feeling place, then a more soothing process that we would recommend would be that of, guess what? Meditation. Because when you quiet your mind, you stop thought. And when you stop thought, your vibration automatically rises. Have you noticed how much better you feel after our 15-minute guided meditation? Regardless of how much effort you put into that meditation, at the end of the 15 minutes, you feel different. Physically. It's a physical thing. Of course, if you could find something to focus upon, something that you can easily appreciate, then the Rampage of Appreciation process would be an even better one, because you can do it under all conditions, no matter where you are. But this process of virtual reality will help you in 2 specific ways. You will become accustomed to the way non-resistance feels. Ooh, that feels good, doesn't it? Non-resistance. So you will recognize when you have moved into resistant thought at an earlier stage, when it's easier to move back out again. And in every moment that you are in the state of non-resistance, the law of attraction will be responding to you in a positive way. And isn't that what it's all about? Recognizing I'm not there, I can get there. I'm going to do something to get me there right now. I'm going to take in a big breath. Abraham, speak to us more about the virtual reality process. There's quite a bit to this game. Virtual reality is a process where you get to choose everything about this moment in time, just like a director in a movie would do. To begin this process, you would first decide, where does this scene take place? So guys, I want you to think about something that you want to see happen today, or something that you need to see happen today. Where does it take place? Choose a location that feels really good to you. It could be a place that you may have visited, heard about, seen in a movie, or even imagined. Is it indoors or outdoors? What time of day is it? Is it morning, afternoon, evening? Is the sun just coming up or going down? Is it broad daylight? What does the air feel like? What is the temperature? How are you dressed? Who else is there? Choose something that feels good to you. Remember, there's no limitations here. This is your imagination. There's nothing you cannot have, be, or do in your imagination. It does not matter if you are alone or with someone else, but it is important that if you choose to bring someone else into your virtual reality, that it feels good to have them there. What kind of mood are you in? Are you laughing? Are you sitting and quietly contemplating? Once you've set the scene, you can imagine what you might say to each other. The purpose of this virtual reality process is to cause you to activate vibrations within you that put you in the place of allowing your well-being. So you would not create a virtual reality where you would build your new house with a leaky roof and then bring people in to repair your virtual reality to fix the leaky roof. You would not put up ugly wallpaper and then bring someone in to replace it. In your virtual reality, you can make it be precisely the way you want it to be. Do not use this process to try to improve a specific existing situation, because in your attempt to fix something, you will bring the existing vibration into your virtual reality, and in doing so, you will lose the power of your virtual reality process. Are you guys starting to get the idea of this? There's nothing to fix because nothing is broken. We're just going to dream about what we want, the perfect scenario. You kind of sort of getting it? Nothing is more important than feeling good. Nothing. And the minute that we really and truly understand that, I got to tell you a little story before we get here about feeling good. Yesterday we had our grandson Bennett here, and my daughter came for dinner. My son-in-law couldn't make it, so we had dinner, and after dinner we were outside with Ben, and he was running around playing, and all of a sudden we were out back, and he took off out front. So I ran through the house out to the front door as he came up, and I hollered at him to stop, and he didn't. And so I had to get forceful, and I yelled at him to stop, and he did, and he looked at me, and I gave him a scolding, I guess you could say. I talked to him and said, Bennett, you can't do that. You must not do that. You cannot run out here. There are cars, there are people, you never know what could happen. You cannot run away from adults. Well, the look on his little face, just even now thinking about it, just breaks my little heart. He just looked at me because he'd never heard his grandma speak to him that way. I don't think he's ever heard anyone speak to him that way. Grandma was very serious and very stern. And he had his little eyes just filled up with big tears that didn't come out, but they just swelled up, and his little face got this little pouty look. And I went and gave him a hug, and I said, Bennett, I love you. You haven't done anything wrong. Everything is good. You cannot run away anymore. You need to listen when we tell you to stop. Okay? And we went and played, and everything was good. But I'll tell you, all the way back, walking back to the back, even when we got back there and he saw Dawn and his mom, he still had that pouty look on his face, just about broke my heart. And I thought, but you know what? It was a safety issue. It was a safety issue. And so I didn't want to scare him. And I know that I thought of it after. I thought, I just made him afraid. I showed him some fear. And we do need that a little bit in life. We need to be careful. We can't just expect, there's other things going on. We do have to be aware of what's going on around us. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a thing. Nothing is more important than feeling good. And that is all Bennett wants to do, is feel good. He didn't like not feeling good. I didn't like not feeling good. We got back to feeling good really quick. really quick. There is no reason that well-being is not pouring into your experience in precise detail in response to all the things you've identified that you want, other than the fact that you are in a bad mood, or you're angry, or you're worried about something. This exercise of virtual reality will help you train yourself to feel better more of the time, and like working a muscle, the more you do it, the better it works for you. Esther once practiced this virtual reality game while she was driving the big bus she and Jerry traveled in. She discovered that it worked best for her to get into the scene quickly, bring herself to a place of feeling really good, and then get out. If she stayed too long, she would get too practical and try to reform people or fix things. But when she would just decide where the good feeling place was going to be by picking something that made her heart sing, deciding who else was going there, identifying what kind of mood they would be in, and then just speaking a few words of dialogue and getting out, it felt wonderful. We would encourage you to play this game when you're driving, standing in a line, lying in your bed, or you can even just set some time aside to do it. As you create these scenarios that make you feel good, you activate a vibration that does feel good. And then the law of attraction matches the vibration. There's nothing more important than that you feel good, and there's nothing better than creating images that cause you to feel good. When Esther, as she was driving, would think about what the air felt like, sometimes she would give it just a little humidity. Sometimes it would be so dry that it would feel good as it blew across her body. Sometimes it would be 90 degrees with no humidity at all. She thought of every pleasant combination of temperature, humidity, time of day that she could think of. And then she would bring lovely friends to come and play with her, and they would have all kinds of wonderful experiences. She got so good at virtual reality that she wanted to play longer, because when she played this game, she could control everything, about everything. Every thought that feels bad is bad. You get that? Every thought that feels bad is bad. The universe does not know or give attention to why your vibration is what it is in any moment. In other words, the doctors could have diagnosed you as being disease-ridden yesterday, and today you could be driving down the highway like Esther did in some sort of fantasy virtual reality. In that moment, there would be no representation of any disease within your body. And if you could maintain that vibration even more than you maintain your awareness of the disease, it could not remain in your body. It is only there because somehow, without knowing it, you've chosen thoughts that are a vibrational match to the essence of the disease. That's why they call it dis-ease. Every thought you have chosen that is a vibrational match to disease feels bad when you think it. It feels like anger, frustration, resentment, blame, guilt, or fear. Those thoughts are not good for you, and you can tell that they are not good for you because they feel bad when you think them. In the same way that touching and feeling a hot stove hurts, feeling negative emotion hurts. Something you've lived a long time ago that is not active in your vibration, or something that you lived yesterday that you are not thinking about right now, does not have any vibrational weight in your point of attraction, none whatsoever. So you do not have to rid yourself of all negative thoughts. Sometimes as you're interacting with others, you'll hear or smell something that triggers a vibration within you that doesn't feel good as it's activated, and that's the time for you to say, oh, my guidance system is working. I can feel that there's something activated within me that's not serving me well. Because in the activation of this vibration, there's some resistance within me that's now disallowing the well-being that would be there otherwise. In fact, in other words, what they're saying here is, and I'm sure you guys have felt it, is that, you have a scent or, a thought of a situation, or you'll see something that reminds you of something that doesn't feel good. And you can feel it right away. And what you need to do is say, there's that guidance system again. And immediately turn your attention into virtual reality. You see, that is the time to choose a thought that feels better. And if you've practiced virtual reality, then it will be very easy for you to reach for a thought that feels better. But if you've not been practicing, then when you're in the middle of a negative thought, you do not have anywhere positive to go. So you just have to wait until the thought peters out. Another example of virtual reality, and then we'll get into our meditation. And while we're doing this, while I read this last section, you guys let me know what you'd like to listen to today. It's our last one together. So we have Abraham or Lori, and you guys know the ones we have. Tell me what you'd like to listen to today. The more you practice the process of virtual reality, the more you will be practicing the vibration of no resistance. The more you practice the vibration of no resistance, the better you'll feel. And of course, the things you want will now easily begin to flow into your experience as well. For example, imagine the following scenario. The place, a lovely, white, sandy beach. It's winter time, but the weather is delightful. 70 degrees with scattered clouds, and the air feels wonderful on my skin. I've no shoes on, so I'm enjoying the feeling of the cool, clean sand underneath my feet. My clothes are loose-fitting and very comfortable, and I feel very good in my body. I'm lazily walking down the beach, feeling strong, happy, and secure. My 5-year-old granddaughter is with me, and she's loving this glorious day, as I am. She's glad to be with me, but she does not seem to need me to entertain her, and I'm enjoying watching her happy, self-empowered activity as she runs, digs in the sand, and enjoys this lovely beach. I'm very glad that we've come to this place. It was a very good choice. My granddaughter runs up to me, holding a shell that she's discovered, and with a gleeful, sweet voice and bright, sparkling eyes, she says, "Grandma, I'm so happy we're here. Thank you for bringing us here." And I tell her, "You're most welcome, sweet girl. I love being here with you." Now this is a good time to get out. Feels good, doesn't it? Worrisome or thrilling, your visualizations are matched. In Tucson, a dear friend gave Esther a windshield repair kit, and Esther thought, "I wonder how it works." She read the instructions and thought, "This is a wonderful thing." And every time she picked it up, she thought, "What an ingenious thing this is." So she and Jerry were on the road, and in about 10 minutes, a truck swiftly passed them, causing a rock to ricochet off the windshield of their motor coach. Almost immediately, Esther got to experience the need for windshield repair that she had been visualizing. No matter whether you worry or rejoice in your virtual reality, you set up a vibration that the law of attraction matches. Someone said to us, "Abraham, I have a hard time visualizing. When I think about going to virtual reality, it just sort of gets blank for me. I don't know how to do this." And we said, "Can you remember events that have happened? If you can remember, then you can do virtual reality, because none of that is right here, right now, and as you are remembering, you're creating it from something." So visualizing or virtual reality is no different. It's conjuring, but with a single intention of pleasing yourself as you do it. As you practice this process and stimulate your imagination more, you'll not only find the process to be delightful, good feeling way to spend some time, you will discover that your dominant vibration on a myriad of subjects is changing, and your life experience will now begin to reflect those wonderful improvements. And quickly, before we go into meditation, although I'll get it ready, yesterday, as my grandson was down for his nap, he woke up earlier than I felt he should have, and we will do Abraham's money meditation today. And as he woke up, I said to him, I went in, I changed his diaper because he'd dirtied his diaper, and it was still dark in the room, and I talked to him, and I said, "You really need to have a little bit more sleep, Bennett, just maybe 10 minutes. You just lay down with Sheepy for a little while, okay?" And he did. He laid down, and it was about 20 minutes later, I was in my office here, and I hear, "Grandma! Grandma!" So I went in the room, and there he was. He was laying down, curled up at the end of the playpen, and he says, "I lay down. I'm happy." Because he'd had a little bit extra sleep, and he does. He wakes up happy all the time. There's something we can learn from these children. It's all they know. It's all they want, just to be happy. All right, guys, I will put the link in the chat for you, and we'll be back here in 15 minutes. Enjoy some financial well-being. Sit back, listen to Esther. Remember our breathing beat, 3 beats in.
We are going to stand for a while in your physical shoes and speak words that are of greatest advantage to you. Breathe in. Breathe out. We want to help you find the vibrational stance to allow financial abundance to flow into your personal experience. Breathe in. Breathe out. The stream of abundance flows generously, and it is right, and it is time for you to receive your share. This will not be difficult for you to do, and it will not take much time, because you are already well along the way. Breathe in. Breathe out. There is power in the words that you are hearing, and in time your resistance will subside and your allowing will begin. As your resistance is replaced with allowing, as doubt is replaced with belief, your abundance will become evident. Breathe in. Breathe out. Our words will help you to shift your feeling about money from worry or concern to eagerness and fun. Breathe in. Breathe out. When that emotional shift occurs, immediate financial manifestations will be the evidence of that shift. Breathe in. Breathe out. If we can convince you that the path to financial abundance is simply an emotional path, with each hearing of these words, you will breathe out more resistance, and your feelings will improve. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your work is not one of action. There are no courses to complete. There are no requirements for you to meet. Just a comfortable and gradual rediscovery of your natural state of relief and of ease and of well-being. Breathe in. Breathe out. You are never deprived when someone else gains, because abundance expands proportionately to match desires. Breathe in. Breathe out. When the success of another makes your heart sing, your resistance is gone and your own success soars. Breathe in. Breathe out. The fastest way to get to an improved financial condition is to look for pleasing things that you already have. For in the seeking and finding of that which is working, more success will come, and it will come quickly. Breathe in. Breathe out. While your life will continue to call more abundance to you, the majority of that work is already done. And now, with far less effort than you have been believing, your financial condition is about to improve. Breathe in. Breathe out. Financial abundance does not occur in one's life because of hard work, or good luck, or favoritism. Financial abundance is simply the universe's response to consistent thoughts and feelings of abundance. Breathe in. Breathe out. When you are able to accomplish the feeling of abundance before the evidence has shown itself to you, the evidence must come and will continue to come as long as you maintain the feeling of abundance. Breathe in. Breathe out. Anytime you are feeling good, no matter the reason, you are accomplishing the feeling of abundance. Breathe in. Breathe out. In your absence of resistance, everything that you have asked for is making its way right to you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Each time you focus upon these words, your resistance becomes smaller and your allowance becomes greater. With each passing day, your vibrational point of attraction will change until there will be an obvious tipping point. Breathe in. Breathe out. For a while, the only evidence of your financial progress will be your improved emotional state of being. And if you will let that be enough, taking no score of financial progress, the financial improvement will show up. Breathe in. Breathe out. We are so pleased to have this opportunity to express to you our appreciation for all that you are. We want to let you know that it is our absolute promise to you that the abundance you seek is coming. Breathe in. Breathe out. You are doing extremely well. Abundance is flowing to you. Relax and enjoy the unfolding. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel appreciation for what is and eagerness for what is coming. There is great love here for you. Breathe in. For the next few minutes, letting the music guide you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out.
Do we have a big smile? Just want to remind you here, you put these all around your house to remind you. Smile. Feeling good? Feeling good? A garden requires patient labor and attention. Plants do not grow merely to satisfy ambitions or to fulfill good intentions. They thrive because someone expended effort on them. I'm going to challenge you to expend the effort on your garden of thoughts today. Do some virtual reality. Play. I'm looking outside today. Oh my goodness, yesterday we had the most beautiful rainbow because it rained and then the sun came out and it was pretty cool. I do have some pictures. We had clear blue skies on one side and this beautiful rainbow in the cloud on the left. It was just like the sky was split in half. It was pretty amazing. Quite beautiful. We have some amazing skies here in Alberta for sure, especially here where we are. And it was funny because we were with little Bennett and he kept we're showing him the rainbow and we're in the backyard and he wants to show me the rainbow and he's running to the back to show me the rainbow, only he's pointing at the neighbor's trailer across, well, I didn't know what he was pointing to, but he was pointing to something across the alleyway, not in the direction of the rainbow. And so I picked him up and I was showing him the rainbow and I could tell he's pointing at the neighbor's trailer now, which is parked in the driveway, his mobile home, and he says, rainbow. And I said, aha. So I took the picture I had of the rainbow and I showed him the picture and I said, this is the rainbow. See the colors? And then I showed him in the sky. See the rainbow? I said, this is a trailer. It was really funny though because he thought he was finding rainbows everywhere. Look at all these rainbows. And he was pretty excited. And all I did was change the word. Like, that's not a rainbow, that's a trailer. We call it a trailer. A rainbow looks like this. It has colors. But to him, the trailer was the rainbow. And it didn't matter because they both made him feel good and he was pretty excited. So anybody have anything they want to share today? Does anybody want to come up and share something exciting in their lives? How are you feeling today? Are you moving forward? Are you beginning to change the direction of, are you able to change the direction of your life on purpose? Are you starting to recognize that you're doing that? Are you starting to recognize when you do something on purpose and it happens? When you think of something and you put feeling into it and then you see it happen, are you starting to see that even in a little way? Are you starting to recognize that you have the opportunity to feel good no matter what? And when you feel good no matter what, good things start to happen. Good things are around you. And my grandson yesterday, in retrospect, I thought, as I started to think about it, the poor little guy, I taught him to be afraid. But sometimes fear is a good thing, isn't it? I don't even want to call it fear, but we need to be aware there are things out there, right? That if you run out in the road and a car goes by and it hits you, you're probably going to get hurt. So you need to know those things. We need to be aware. And that's part of our job as adults, is to help our children be aware of what's out there and how to have a happy life in spite of what's out there. In fact, have a happy life because of what's out there, because you're creating all this happy. Today's affirmation: I trust this power and intelligence, knowing that whatever I need to know is revealed to me in the right time, space, and sequence. All is well in my world. Sometimes we don't feel like this, do we? We don't feel like everything's going to come in the right time, and we get worried. Like it said in the book, all of a sudden we see all these bills come in and there's not enough to pay for the bills. We don't have enough to pay for the bills. And it becomes a worry. They're negative emotions, and they don't need to be that way. We can look at it and say, the universe will provide for me. I'm in the right direction. I'm doing the right things now. That's only there because of that stuff I used to be thinking before. Stinking thinking brought all that on to me. And the only way I can change what's happening in my life is if I change the way I think about it. If I look at everything that comes to me as a blessing, as a lesson of some sort, as if I could look at life differently. How bad is your life going to be if everything you do here, if all these games we play, cause you to feel really good? How bad can that be? I'm just curious. How bad can it be if you play this virtual reality game today? If you play it, if you play these games, the Creative Workshop, your Creative Magical Creation box. Okay, there's lots in my box. Right on top there are $2 million bills. And there's scenes of our sailboat, the Trilogy 5 it says. It's not the name of our sailboat, but it is a sailboat. Dawn and I will sail. We will have a sailboat. We'll have our dream kitchen. We'll live wherever we want to live. We have that option. Have anything we want, anytime we want, anywhere we want, however much of it we want, and believe it or not, you can change it like that. The Magical Creation Box. Fran, do you have this book? Ask and it is given. Do you have that book? If you don't, you really want to get it. It's one of the games. It's the game we played. It's process number 2. Process number 2. It is on, if you go to the Morning Motivator, the replays of the first time I read the book are there, and the games are all there. You'll find it. Whatever is contains, all you do is get a fancy little box that you like. This is my box here. A box, you can decorate it. And this one is already decorated, and I love the colors. You have to put in a conspicuous place. I put a big sticky note that doesn't really come off. So it's quite stuck on there, right? I could take it off, but it's quite stuck on there. Whatever is contained in this box is. And as you put things in there, and it can be anything, I have 2, as you can see here they are. I should show you what $1 million looks like. There you go. Piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. It can be real or not real, depending on how I look at it. If I believe it's real, it's real. If I believe that the universe will bring me whatever I put in this box, and I truly believe it, it will happen. So whatever is contained in this box is, and I close the box, and I put it away. And as I find things that I enjoy in my day, I will put them in the box. Here we go. There's something else I'm going to put in my box. Because I am a girl. I do encourage you guys to look this up. Because I am a girl.ca. I'm pretty sure it's a global movement. But it is something that I want to take on as a favorite charity because it's about educating women in the world, and I do believe with all my heart that if we can educate women in the world, we will have a better world. It's the women who create the families in our lives. It's the women who deliver the babies. If we educate the women in the world, we'll have a better world. And I want to do all I can to help educate the world. It's a mission I'm on. So now that's in my magical creation box, it means that I will do that. Well, there you go, Gary. You thought you were a millionaire. You probably felt like a millionaire, and then somebody probably told you you weren't. Somebody probably tried to convince you that, like, face reality, Gary. Right? So I'm challenging you to get back to that state of being a kid, to get back to that state of creating a reality, a virtual reality, of dreaming up whatever you want and feeling that way. How did that feel, Gary? Can you think back to that time when you felt like a millionaire? Yeah, your dad told you it was fake. And you believe your dad. He knows better than you. And so I'm going to challenge you, Gary, to take a moment today and to think back at that time when you were a kid and when you thought you were a millionaire. Before your father told you you weren't, when you really, really thought you were and how it felt, you're a millionaire. I mean, I can remember playing, as a kid, I played Office. I was fascinated with playing Office, and it just made me feel amazing to be organizing things and doing things. And you know, it's funny when I think back to that and the things that I enjoyed doing. And I got a lot of pleasure from them. And all we need to do is find that feeling of pleasure and hold that feeling of pleasure about what it is that we want and act as if we already are that we already have it. And how do we do that? For some people, that's a difficult thing, isn't it? Thinking of things that we've never thought before. Thinking outside the box. Maybe we need to get inside the box. But I am going to challenge you when I'm gone. Take a picture of this. Write these 4 things down. I need you to do these every day. I will check in as I can. I'm going to miss you guys. Those 2 weeks are going to go by before I know it. They'll be busy. We are on grandparent duty quite a bit while we're there, which is fine with me. All right, I'm all over that. I know my body will be tired, but I won't even think about that. And when I get home, I will probably need a week to recover, and that's okay because I will be filled with love. And I can't wait to see little Zadie and hold her and just be with her. We're pretty lucky, I must say. As parents and grandparents, we've been exceptionally blessed, and I'm very grateful for that every day. We became grandparents at a very young age. Our oldest grandchild is going to be 12 in February, and I find that hard to believe. And what I've recognized is that as a grandparent, I've changed. I've grown with the grandkids. It's pretty amazing. I get to remember that life all over again. I get to live that life. I get to be a grandparent and let those kids be who they are. When we were at the house on Tuesday, I was over there looking after the kids, hanging out with them for an hour, and I said to them, "Hey guys, we're on grandma duty here. What happens on grandma duty stays on grandma duty, and whatever grandma says goes." They thought that was pretty cool. Barbara says, I have been having pain for quite some time now, my hips and legs when I wake up, except today I'm feeling pain-free. Well, isn't that awesome? Have you been imagining being pain-free, Barbara? It was like that with my back. I just knew that if I just thought about my back being well, it would. And it was. I did some things to make it well, don't get me wrong. You have grandkids that are adult age, and so soon you'll be a great grandma, Fran. I look forward to that day as well. Write these down. Meditate 15 minutes. We just did that. Please do it every day. Take time out of your day to clear your mind of those thoughts that are running around making you crazy. And you're not even aware of them. Go outside and appreciate it all. It is an amazing day today. First thing this morning, I went out and just breathed in the air of the beautiful morning. Write in your book of positive aspects. Do your book of appreciation. That's what it's all about. What are you grateful for? Say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And acknowledge that the universal forces are supporting your positive attention. You are not alone. You are not alone. And remember, the more you work on you, the better you get at feeling better, the more your energy is expanding into the universe. It means that you're affecting more people. So you have to remember that. It's not about going out there and fixing the world. It's about going inside and fixing ourselves. There's nothing broken. And when I say fixing ourselves, I simply mean allowing ourselves to get to that state of pure positive joy and being okay there. Because that is where we belong. You guys are my pure positive joy. I will miss you, and I won't be in a state of missing. I won't be sad. I will be in a very happy place in Victoria. We're going to have an amazing time. We've got some friends we'll be visiting, and I just know it's going to be a pretty awesome time. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys have an amazing time. I'm going to play some little bit of happy, and we'll see you guys in a few weeks. I love you. Be well. And remember, be happy.